This video looks at how we go about making decisions inside a program. Okay, so we're going to have a look at making decisions inside Python. So the thing that we use to make decisions is we use this thing called the if statement. So the if statement in real life is something that we use all the time. So it could be, if it's raining outside, take an umbrella. So if it's raining outside is true, we take the umbrella. If it's sunny outside, put on sun cream. So again, if it's true, we do a specific task. So all we're going to do is we're going to use the same principle with our code. So we're going to do coding that will allow us to check whether the result of a comparison is true or false. And if it's true, we do one thing, and if it's false, we do something else. So we can make a decision in the program as to whether or not we run a certain bit of code. Okay, so this is it here in a little diagram. So we're coming in, there's our condition. If it's true, we do this bit of code, and if it's not true, we just bypass it completely and move on to the next line. So the condition could be, if it's raining outside. If it's true, the conditional code could be, take umbrella. Up here, we've got again the condition, is it raining outside. If it's not raining outside, we just bypass. If it's false, we bypass, go down here, and we go on to the next command. So we're choosing what we're doing based on the result of a comparison. So in English, we have got, if it's raining outside, take a raincoat. So if it's not raining outside, we just bypass that section and we don't do it at all. So in programming, we use the same kind of a thing. We use if, and we can use else as well to actually make a decision as to what we do. So the thing we use to do it is the comparison operators. If while we're looking at this you can't remember what each of the comparison operators are, check back. Okay, so the way that we lay it out, the if statement, is something known as syntax. So syntax is just the way that we lay things out. We have got if, then we've got our comparison, and 2 dots at the end. And if it's true, we carry out whatever statement is there. If you have a look at it, here we have got if right at the start of the line, and then the statement there is indented a little. Python has to have the code laid out like that. Some other programming languages use brackets and things to determine what the start and the end of a section of code is. With Python, it's about where you position it. So anything relating to the true section has to all come underneath each other. What we'll do is we'll look at an example. So here I've got my name, the date, what this particular thing is about. So I have got age equals input. So input is that keyword that will read stuff in from the user. So it's reading in, please enter your age. And it's going to store it inside age. And then we're saying if, and I'm casting age because I want to compare it to a number. So I'm casting it and making it an integer. If age is greater than or equal to 18, I know it's greater than because less than is an L on its side, so it's greater than or equal to 18. We print out, welcome to the website. So this is an example of it running. Please enter your age. I've put 19 in. So it's took in the value 19, it's stored inside age, and then it's coming down to the if statement. So it's making 19 an integer, a whole number, and it's saying, is 19 greater than or equal to 18? Yes, it is, it's true. So because it's true, it's printing out welcome to the website. And there we have it there, welcome to the website. What we can do is we can have an else statement, so we can have something else happening if the condition is false. So again, we have got if, and then whatever comparing it against, the two dots, or the colon as it's called, statement, and then we've got else, colon, and then statement. So we can change it a wee bit so that it'll do something different if a person under 18 enters their age. So have a look at the code. So I've got age equals this keyword input. Input takes in the value that the person has typed in, and it's storing it inside age. So it's writing out, please enter your age. Whatever's typed in is stored inside age. So the first option here, I've got 12. So it's got the if statement, if int age. So we're making age, we're casting it and making it a number. So if 12 is greater than or equal to 18, well, 12 is not greater than or equal to 18, so it won't do that because it's false. It only does that if it's true. So we move down to the else part, and it prints out you are too young to enter, which is what you can see here. And in the other option, this time what has happened is the person has entered 19 in when the program was running. So 19 is stored inside age when it asks the person to enter their age, and then it's if int age. So if 19 is greater than or equal to 18, well, it is, it's true. So what it will do is print out welcome to the website. So I've got another example of changing case here. So sometimes it's useful to compare values against another value, but we don't really care what case it is. So it can be all uppercase or all lowercase, as long as it matches. That's all that matters. That can be important if you were searching in a website for a specific thing. You wouldn't care if it was uppercase or lowercase, you would just care if you matched it. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at changing the case. So in the example here, I've got changing to uppercase. So all uppercase, an example would be hello there. So if I wanted to change a variable all to uppercase, I could use name.upper. If I wanted to change a variable all to lowercase, I could use name.lower. And if I wanted to make it capitalised, like the first letter uppercase, I can do name.capitalise. So the example here, I've got my name, the date, and what's going on, and I have name equals input. Please enter your username. So the username in this particular example is not case sensitive, so as long as it matches, in this case Violet, so I have got if name.upper, so we take whatever the person's entered and we make it all uppercase. So if name.upper equals equals, so if the person has typed in Violet, then the result of this comparison would be true, and we would print out welcome to the website. It doesn't matter whether or not they have entered the name in uppercase, lowercase or capitalised, it just compares it. It forces it all to be uppercase and compares it against violet uppercase. And if it doesn't match, we have got our else statement here, and we're printing out you have entered an incorrect value. So we can change the case of things. You can make things uppercase, lowercase, or capitalise. What we're going to have a look at now is a random number generation example. Okay, so what we can do in Python, or any programming language really for that matter, is we can use someone else's code. We can import someone else's code, and that code could be written so that it's shared between multiple users, and it's stored inside this thing called a module. Okay, so on Canvas there is a list of different modules that are available, and if you click on it you can see what each of the modules do. So the basic viewpoint is don't reinvent the wheel. So we have got a random number generator available to us inside Python, and that's what we're going to use. Generating random numbers is quite a kind of common thing in a lot of elements of programming. I mean, if you think about logging into internet banking, you are asked to put in maybe character 3, character 7 and character 8. So that would be a random number generating which particular character you actually had to enter to get into the site. So we do use random numbers quite a lot. In this example, what we've got is we've got a random number guessing game. So I have my name, the date, and what this particular program's about, and that's a pretty standard way of doing things when we're laying out our code. Up the top I've got import random. So all that's doing is it's saying I want you to import this module called random. It's freely available, so it will be imported into the system. And then I'm going to set min and max values to be used. So the minimum value I want to be 1, and the max value I want to be 10. So these are the ranges that I want the number to be generated from. I want a number between 1 and 10, basically. So now I'm just going to generate the random number. So I'm saying magic, because that's what I want to call this particular number that's generated. So magic sets up an area in memory, and I want it to be equal to random. So I'm telling Python, use the random module, and then I've got .randint. Inside random, there is a function available called randint, and what that will do is it will generate a random number between a minimum and a maximum. So it'll generate the random number between 1 and 10, and whatever the machine comes back with, it stores it inside magic. And then we have print magic number game, and then print pick a number between 1 and 10, and then whatever the user enters, I'm using the guess variable to store it. So I have got input, which is the keyword for getting information from the user. Input, enter your guess. Whatever the person types in, it's stored inside guess. Then I'm saying if guess, again I'm having to cast it to make sure that it is an integer. So if whatever the person has guessed equals is checking to make sure it's the same. So if the guess is the same as magic, we print out, well done, you guessed the magic number. If it's not equal to magic, we just say else, better luck next time. So it's a simple little game. We get Python to generate a random number for us, and we're just checking to see if we're guessing the random number correctly. So at the moment, It is just one shot at this game that you get. But as we move further on, we'll use this code again, and what we can do is we can make it repeat a certain number of times. What I would suggest you do is try these examples, go over them, make sure you understand what's going on. If you don't, ask me in class, or if you're okay with it, what you can do is you can have a look at the exercises and give them a go. If you've got stuck, give me a shout.